Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a video for some young adult fantasy books that I still haven't read yet. And this is a relatively long list, and most of these fantasy books are really highly recommended. They have great reviews, and I personally love young adult fantasy. It's one of my favorite genres for sure. So I still don't know why I haven't gotten around to reading some of these books because they've been out for quite a while. But anyways, let me get into them, and if there are any books that I've mentioned here that are some of your favorites, you really love them, let me know so I can prioritize reading those ones first. First, I have Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. So this has 2 books out so far. I think it's a trilogy, but I've heard amazing things. It sounds like something I would absolutely love about these 3 triplets, and they are all competing for the crown, and I think they have different strengths and they have to kill each other, and the one remaining alive wins. That is my brief understanding of this, but I love a good royal fantasy that has magic in it. Next, I want to read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So I think this is a trilogy in the whole Grishaverse. I did read Six of Crows. I haven't yet read whatever the second one is called, but I still enjoyed Six of Crows, so I think I would enjoy another Leigh Bardugo series. It's just a different setting than any other fantasy I've really read so far, and I really like the whole Grisha element. I think this is one I have heard some semi-mixed reviews on. Some people really love it, some people are just okay about it, so I'm curious which category I would fall into. Now, this next series has been getting a lot of buzz lately, especially from some of the bigger YouTubers, because it's recently come out with new editions, and that's the Ember and the Ashes series by Sapa Tahir. I think I've heard more about this book recently than I have ever before because of the new Penguin editions of this book. This is 2 books I think are out and like a 3-book or something series. Everyone who I've seen review it has really loved this series, and I'm trying to understand what the book is actually about, because although I've heard it described quite a few times, I already forget, but just knowing that it's a fantasy series that people love will just draw me in right there. Now, this other book series has gotten a lot of buzz because the 5th book I think in the series has come out, and that's the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. So fun fact, I actually read Shatter Me back in my senior year of high school, I think it was, so a long time ago. And I remember enjoying the book. It was written in a way that was different from anything I'd read before up to that point, and I was interested in reading more of it, but I kind of just forgot what happened in the first book, so by the time the second book came around, I kind of lost interest. So I'd be curious to read this series, honestly from start to finish, because I have no memories of what happens in this book, but I've heard so many people rave about it. So this next series is completed. I love that I can get into a series that's finished. I think that's so fun to read a series from start to finish. So this one I definitely want to get to, and it's Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is a book series that takes place on Mars, I think, so it's sci-fi fantasy, and I actually started reading this on my Kindle. I got the loan from my library through Overdrive, but I was in a slump at the time, and I had, I think, another book going on at the same time, so I didn't get around to finishing it. I'm still very interested in reading it and getting through the whole series. It just sounds like something I'm going to love, and I guess the Reds, I think, are the underdogs in the society, and I guess there's a rising. I don't know. I'll find out one day, I'm sure. On the theme of red, The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, I also want to read. Of this one, I am a little bit more hesitant to read because I've heard more mixed reviews about this series, that it's kind of pretty commonplace for a fantasy book. It's not too original. It's all been done before. There's a lot of tropes in it. So although I am interested in reading it because I have heard still some good things, I am a little bit more on the fence about this one. So if you've read this one and you've really liked it, or you kind of felt mad about it, let me know, because I'm still not entirely sure if I'm going to prioritize getting to this one. The next one I have wanted to read even more so because Peruse Project, Reagan, has been gushing about this, and that's Scythe by Neil Schusterman. She made her boyfriend Clay read it, and I think that's just amazing. So I think actually he's still reading it. I don't know. I haven't watched one of their weekend vlogs lately, but I really want to get to Scythe. It sounds so interesting, more dystopian fantasy, I think, than just straight up fantasy, or maybe it's more sci-fi dystopian. I don't know, but it's kind of this crazy society where people don't die because they've cured everything, so certain people have to go around and clear the population out so they don't have an overpopulation issue. This is one I definitely want to get to on the sooner side of things. I'm almost done. I have 3 more series to talk about. Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I don't know what this is about, but I love the cover, and that's really all I know. I think it has good reviews. I should read it one day. The next I want to definitely read, I've wanted to read this book for over a year now. I don't know why I haven't yet, and that is the Illuminate series by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is sci-fi fantasy, and I really do love me some sci-fi. It's written in a really cool format with different types of media logs and entries, so I heard it reads really quickly, and I have wanted to read this book so bad, but I just think I need to just put a hold for it on the library and get it and start reading it, because it's something that I know I'm gonna love, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. So I know I need to read this one. I know everyone gushes about this one. I honestly haven't heard a single bad thing about this series, so count me in. I need to read this soon. I have my final series, and that is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This is one that got a lot of hype a little while ago, but I've heard really good things about it. I don't even know what this book is about, honestly, but I remember at the time when I had first started hearing about it that it was really good. So who knows what it's about? I'll probably read it still someday. So that wraps up my list of young adult fantasy series / books that I still need to read. I know it's a lot. Let me know which ones are your favorites so that I can get to reading those first. Thank you for watching, and happy reading.